Hey guys, welcome back to the GNBA. In today's episode, we have finally hit the draft where we'll see your players get drafted in this episode. This has a long time coming to it, and I know you guys are excited to see where your player lands and what team you get drafted to. Let's waste no more time and head to the draft. And after winning the draft lottery tournament, the Stingrays are first on the clock. And they are going to select Chris Paul, 6-foot guard from Wake Forest. Chris Paul has been projected to go number 1 in every single mock draft, so this is a great pick here at number 1. Paul played a long 19-year career in the NBA, where he's been a 12-time All-Star, and after a very successful career, Paul decides to make the switch to the GNBA after a not-so-successful season with the Golden State Warriors. Paul's shifty playmaking ability is the reason he is an absolute lock to go number 1 in this draft. The Lizards are now on the board, and they are queuing up their pick, and they are going to select Jordan Poole, point guard from Michigan. Jordan Poole, although he has been projected to go number 2 in almost every mock draft, I believe that he can be the best player to come out of this draft. Paul's youth gives him a humongous upside, as he still has the potential to be a superstar. Paul's the perfect secondary ball handler who will go out and get you a bucket, which is what makes him such a dangerous guard in this league. What a start to this GNBA draft, as 2 NBA players are joining the league. But at 3, the Admirals take the first user-created player in Mo Hurley, the 6'4" point guard. Not much to say here. Mo Hurley is a star-studded ball handler who averaged 30 points and 11 assists for St. Mary's High School, leading them to their first national championship since LeBron James and the Shooting Stars. Mo is one of the best pure scorers in this draft class and is going to be a star for years to come. Our first 3 picks in this draft, all being point guards. I wonder what we'll see here from the Providence Steamrollers. They also go guard with the first Canadian off the board in Elijah Deere. Elijah Deere is a phenomenal pass-first point guard from Canada who gets everyone involved in the game. He could be an immediate replacement for Justin Holiday, who was a solid starter for the Steamrollers just last season. He played college ball for Michigan State, where in a Final Four game against USC, he broke the record for most assists, having 24 of them. He is truly one of the purest passers in college basketball that has ever been. Next on the board, we have the Bullets at 5, and they are going to select Andre Drummond, the 6'11" center from Connecticut. Andre Drummond is a 6'11" purebred center entering his 13th professional season of basketball. Throughout Drummond's career as an NBA player, he has proven himself as one of the best rebounders of all time. In Andre's final year in the NBA, he averaged 9 points and 9 rebounds, playing for the Chicago Bulls, proving that even on the back end of his career, he can still be a dominant rebounder. Andre would be a perfect fit for any team needing to fill a hole at the center position, and the Bullets desperately need it, as Bismack Biyombo is a pending free agent. Now on the board is the range here, and they select Jonathan Carpenter, the 6'9" small forward from Alabama. Carpenter is a real solid all-round player. He averaged 20.7 rebounds and 7 assists for Alabama last season. He earned the nickname B-Sack, as he was Bama's Swiss Army knife. His presence will provide the range with much needed versatility, and he could be a real big influence on this team's success down the road. Now moving on to pick 7, the Generals select Kevin Love, the 6'8" power forward from UCLA. He previously played on the Miami Heat just after his long stint with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Love has proven himself as an absolute baller throughout his 17-year NBA career. Love's scoring ability is untouchable. GNBA Finals, 10 seconds left, game tied. I want the ball in K. Love's hands. However, drafting Kevin Love comes with its downsides. Kevin is very old and it is unknown how many seasons he has left in him. Love's final years in the NBA found him struggling on the defensive end of the court. However, I think as he transitions into the GNBA, that is a part of his game that is really going to improve. Moving on to pick 8 with the New Orleans Gators. They select Tory Miller, the 6'11 point guard from Australia. Tory Miller is a 6'11 do-it-all point guard from Australia, where he played for the Brisbane Bullets, averaging a league high in both points and assists with 29.2 points and 11.8 assists. His height and playmaking ability bring an element to this Gators team that was lacking last season. It will be a nice switch up from Dellavedova, who is a pending free agent, and I think Tory Miller will fit in quite well alongside Victor Oladipo and Moses Brown. Heading on to pick 9, the San Jose Hype will select Anthony Rome Jr. from Ohio State. Anthony Rome Jr. is a tall, skinny forward who is shifty and can go and get his bucket. Rome also is a great defender on that side of the court. For Ohio State, he averaged 9 boards, a steal and a half, and a block and a half. However, coming up to the professional level, Rome's weight could be a massive problem, as he is only 187 pounds at 6'11", which is tiny, leaving him prone to possible games where he is bully-balled. It would be ideal for Rome to have a Giannis Antetokounmpo-like transformation, putting on at least another 50 pounds. If he can do this, it would really be unthinkable how far this guy could go at the professional level. Now on the clock at pick 10 is the Blue Crabs, who select Carl Anthony, one of the only purebred centers in this draft class. Anthony spent the last year playing alongside Mackenzie LeBlanc for the Hamilton Honey Badgers in the CEBL. Anthony stands at 7'2", earning him the nickname the Maple Giant. Despite his height, he has an incredible playmaking ability that makes him dangerous for any defense, as they don't know whether he is going to take it himself or swing it to the next teammate. Anthony is also very dangerous on the defensive end of the court, where he averaged 10 boards and 2 blocks. Heading on to pick 11, we have the Venom, who have 3 picks in this draft. They are going to select Jim Bob, the 6'6 shooting guard from Australia. Jim Bob has recently been playing professional basketball in Australia in the NBL for Adelaide 36ers, where he has come to be a fan favourite for his incredible shooting ability. Bob shot 47% from beyond the arc last season. Bob was even the leading scorer in the Got Next game with 17 points, knocking down 5 threes. Jim Bob could have been a top 3 pick in this draft, however he has problems finding that final move to get an open look and has heavily relied on his teammates to get him open. Nonetheless, a great pick here for the Venom, as he brings much needed shooting at that guard position. Next on the board is the Owls at 12, and they are going to select DJ Burns, a 6'9" power forward from North Carolina State. This is a huge surprise pick here. He was projected to go early to middle second round, but I'm here for it anyway. DJ Burns was a fan favourite at NC State this past collegiate season, where he participated at the NBA Summer League for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Burns wasn't able to receive a contract for the Cavs, but will provide brute force for the Owls, which comes handy during playoff time. At 13, the Rattlers will select Apollo Hall, 6'9" small forward from BYU. Hall was very productive last season for BYU, averaging 24 points and 8.6 rebounds a game, but his major asset as a player is his defensive work. Hall averaged an outstanding 3.5 blocks and 3 steals a game, which gave him the title as the defensive lockdown guard, guarding 1 through 5, anywhere, anyone. Give him a seat, but he'll strap you in. At pick 14, the runner-ups, the Kansas City Knights select Quadarius Albright, 6'6" 2-guard from Kent State. Albright is a lights-out 2-guard coming out of Kent State. Albright was heavily relied upon, becoming the arc for Kent State, where he absolutely delivered, shooting 43% from 3 last season. Albright is perfect for teams looking for someone to space the floor and knock down clutch time shots. The Knights were a great clutch team last year, and they only improve in that category, as Albright is probably the clutchest player coming out of this draft class. This is an AA+ pick for the Knights. And here at 15 is the Spirit, who select 2-guard Carl Jarrett, 6'3" Baylor product. The 2-guard out of Baylor was very consistent as a 3-level scorer. His small stature as a shooting guard, standing at 6'3", could become a problem at the GNBA level if he does not improve upon his defense. Nonetheless, a great high upside pick for the minor champions last season. And with the final pick of the first round, we have the Nashville Stars selecting Unk Marling, the 6'8" small forward from UNC Greenborough. Unk Marling is an Australian hooper playing his college ball at UNC Charlotte. Unk was also the youngest player coming into the draft at 18 years old. Marling is the best defender in the draft class, and it's not even close. Marling averaged an incredible 11.2 rebounds, 3.5 steals, and 4.5 blocks for Unk last season. Unk also showed that he is not afraid to get in the post and play some bully ball. He does have some major problems surrounding his terrible passing ability and struggles from the 3-point range. Unk was awarded the Player of the Game in the Got Next basketball game at the All-Star Weekend, where he put up 16 points, 6 rebounds and a block, proving that he is already able to perform against the GNBA's top talents. And the Lizards were the first pick in the second round, taking Jordan Poole in the first. And at pick 17 here, they take Mackenzie LeBlanc, the 6'8" small forward from Canada. LeBlanc is a hooper. LeBlanc has been playing professionally in the CEBL for the Hamilton Honey Badgers since he was 16. Because he has been playing professionally for so long, he's easily the most GNBA ready player in this draft. LeBlanc has proven himself as the ideal 3-and-D wing. He put up a nasty 47% from 3 and averaged 2.4 steals and a block and a half. I'm just surprised he wasn't taken higher. Great pick there by the Lizards. But at pick 18, we have the Bullets selecting Rastaman Escalante, 6'9" point guard from Fresno State. Rastaman Escalante is that guy. Fresno State has delivered us with an absolute baller. Escalante showed his incredible ability on the offensive end of the court, averaging 23.5 points and 10 assists. However, Escalante's offensive game isn't even his best attribute. Escalante is an absolute menace, averaging 6 boards and 4.1 steals as a guard. It's absolutely incredible. Escalante has the ability to be something special no matter what team he is drafted to, and the Bullets give him a huge opportunity to take this offense by the horns and take him to the promised land. With the 19th pick in the GNBA Draft, the Range select Liam Sesson, 6'3", small forward from UNC. Liam Sesson is a small guard forward out of UNC Asheville. However, his height can mislead, as his athletic abilities paired with his 6'11" wingspan give him all the size he needs. His mid-range shot will be one of the best in the league from day one, and he has a high basketball IQ, making him a great passer and one of the best in this draft class. Now at pick 20, we move on to the Generals, who select the 6'8" point guard who played in the Netherlands just this past year, Brody Palmer. The Orlando native Brody Palmer is a great pass-first point guard who played professionally in the Netherlands. Averaging 11.3 assists per game, he has proved his incredible ability to find the open man and create plays. Matching Palmer up with a big man who can get a bucket could be extremely dangerous, as the pick-and-roll game would be absolutely unstoppable. Great pickup for the team looking for it to get a playmaker, and the Generals were certainly looking for one, and Brody Palmer could be the answer. At pick 21 here, we have the Admirals, who are going to select Elliot Nimbus, the 6'4" product from Baylor. Elliot Nimbus was a fantastic player at Baylor, where he played at the 1. Nimbus averaged a little over 30 points while shooting 48% from 3. There is no doubt Nimbus can find his own bucket, but there are concerns that his game will not translate to the next level due to his passing ability. But if he is played at his true position, shooting guard, Nimbus could be the steal of the draft due to his scoring output and lockdown defense. After getting Chris Paul at 1, the Stingrays are back on the clock, and they are going to select Tyrone McFadden, the 6'10" power forward out of Alabama. This is a great pickup, as he will be able to play the power forward position alongside Chris Paul, looking for some nice pick and roll options there. Tyrone McFadden is a big body power forward who works like clockwork in the post. He also possesses an elite ability to knock down the 3 ball. These traits draw him comparisons to his idol in Kevin Love, who was taken by the Stingrays at 7. Apologies, the Generals at 7. Now here on the board is the Providence Steamrollers at 23, and they will select NBA product Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon is the perfect guard for anyone looking for someone to space the court. His ability to knock down corner threes is breathtaking. Eric Gordon also has the ability to be a menace on defense, and this will provide some serious veteran play. He is a great pickup here for the Steamrollers who are looking to make the playoffs this season, and I think this is a great pick here in the second round. At pick 24, we have the Hype selecting Anthony Brown Jr., the 6'4" point guard from Texas Tech. ABJ drew some serious comparisons to Anthony Edwards with his athletic abilities and similarities in appearance. He offers shot creation to the Hype and will be a valuable player for years to come. At pick 25, we have the Venom back on the clock, selecting Ralph Monroe, the 6'8" power forward from Northern Iowa. Monroe is a versatile forward from Northern Iowa. He notched a solid campaign where he was the heart and soul, offering everything he had every night. This Venom team has many players on this roster and are looking to make another playoff run here. They had a fairy tale last season, but can they do it again? We'll see in the next season. Blue Crabs are back on the clock at 26, and they are selecting Leroy Evans, a 6'10" point guard who played at James Madison last season. Leroy Evans is a 6'10" point guard from Australia who played for the James Madison Dukes this past season. He is a do-it-all point guard on offense, but can be exposed on the perimeter defensively when quick guards are played on him. He offers a much different playing style to their superstar point guard and Trey Mann, which creates a nice 1-2 punch for the Blue Crabs. This is another great pick here, and the Blue Crabs are looking to reload and re-find a spark. The Venom back on the clock due to the trade at mid-season. At 27, they are going to select center Cole Jones Jr., the 6'11" product from Florida State. CJJ is an elite defensive anchor leading the nation in blocks with 4.1 a game for Florida State in his last campaign. If Cole can develop an offensive game, he could be one of the best players in the league, and then gem of a pick here for this stacked Venom team. At 28 here, we have Ryan Atkins, the shooting guard from 6'5" from the Air Force, going there. And Josiah Ball at 29, going to the Sacramento Owls, the 6'11" power forward from California. Josiah Ball is a girthy 6'11" power forward who can hold his own on both offense and defense. Ball had some massive problems shooting the ball from California last season, shooting a poor 38% from the field. This is something that I think he would like to touch up on coming into this GNBA rookie season for him. However, I think pairing Ball up with a playmaking guard who can find him under the basket could cause some real damage in the league next season. At pick 30, we have Bradley Hilliard, the second auto-generated player of the draft. And at 31, we have the Knights selecting Aaron Jones, a 6'7" small forward from Florida State. Aaron Jones is a teammate and brother of Cole Jones Jr. Aaron was a standout at Florida State as a point forward who also excelled at the three-point line, shooting 49% from downtown on the season. The Tampa native shined brightly in the GNBA Got Next All-Star Weekend game. Jones had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 of which were offensive, and 2 steals, doing all of that from 66% from the field. The Knights get a kid with superstar potential with the second to last pick in the draft, who only fell due to a heart issue that was revealed just a few weeks before the draft. Doctors say it's monitoring well, and he will be well on track to make the season opener. To finish off the draft, we have the Spirit selecting Dory Millsap, the last player in the draft, auto-generated the 6'11" point guard from Australia. And that concludes our draft. What a wrap up there. What a draft. But it's not over yet, because undrafted free agent rookie Lautaro Oswald, the small forward out of North Carolina, signs with the Bullets. Oswald is an offensive threat as both a passer and shooter for North Carolina last season. Oswald averaged a cool 22 points and 7 assists at the 3 last season. Oswald had it tough growing up after living mill to mill in Oakland before being taken in by his best friend's family. It's a crime that he wasn't selected in the draft and could provide to be one of the best underdog stories in the GNBA that has ever happened. Our second undrafted rookie is Zane Parker, the 6'2" guard from Nevada. Zane Parker likes to eat as a 6'2" guard from Nevada. He plays intensely with his blazing speed and elite athleticism. His 3-ball has room for improvement, but he can knock down the open shot. There is a lot to be desired on the defensive end, which could be the reasoning on why he fell, but his elite offensive game makes him a very interesting prospect. The third free agent rookie to be signed, undrafted, is Noel Jarrett, the fan favourite going to the Steamrollers. Noel the Shine Jarrett receives his nickname from his bald head, paired with his ability to also shine on the court. He is one of the best pure scorers in the draft, averaging 27.6 points a game on 52% from the field and 43 from 3 for Cincinnati just last season. He wasn't selected in the draft due to concerns of his play might not translate him to the next level. Noel has a huge opportunity to prove everyone wrong this season in his big role with the Steamrollers. The final undrafted rookie is Robert Chambers, the 5'10" point guard from Charlotte. Robert Chalmers is a 5'10" point guard and teammate of the Got Next game MVP Marling. Robert was dynamic with UNC Charlotte last season, wreaking havoc on the court with averages of 28.2 points and 6.7 assists. There is no question that the RC has the tools to be a productive player in the GNBA, but he has to prove his height won't be a problem at the next level as a defensive liability. And behind me you can see all the free agency moves that are happening over this off-season. I'm going to show a 5-second clip of each team's new rosters, as I understand this could be hard to keep track of. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to let this run and I'll get back to you in the outro. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you made it all the way to the end, please remember to subscribe, like and share, and to join my Discord if you want to submit your own player of your own for Season 3. This was an absolute blast to film. It took me a long time, and reasoning why it took me a week to release this video. But yeah, incredible stuff. The draft was awesome, and all the new teams are looking fire. I can't wait to post Season 2, and it is going to be so much fun. I will see you in the next one. So as always, Peace out, my friend.